Ability Show live. Alright, this week I want to talk to you about spring break, about navigating the spring break crowds. Now, we have entered the point where the spring break crowds are starting to die down, and that's a good thing because next week I'm gonna be down there. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for plenty of that. So, but anyway, but still, just like we talked about last week, you can do the smaller rides first and let the big crowds do the bigger rides first. That way, you aren't engulfed in the crazy crowds. And that's important because you don't want to be stuck in 9-hour lines. So make sure you find a way to negate the the spring break crowds as often as you can. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, as we said last week, Epcot's World Showcase has 11 magnificent pavilions. So this week we're going to cover my top 5 World Showcase pavilions. Number 5, Japan. It, it's such a beautiful pavilion. I mean, you you got the amazing shops where they sell all sorts of Japanese stuff. You got the restaurants, of course, Pepinito, or as we like to call it, Dippin' Cheetos. And you got the Mariatsu drummers. They are amazing. Number 4, the UK Pavilion. Now, now this is for all of my, for any for if I have any British viewers, but and also this is for my family in England. The UK Pavilion is beautiful. I mean, we always go into the shops to see what's in, to see what's new, and you got Mary Poppins, Alice, and Winnie the Pooh greeting guests, and the amazing British cover band Command performing in the Garden Maze. They're pretty cool. Number 3, the Mexico Pavilion. Now, now in my opinion, 85% of the Mexico Pavilion is inside that giant Aztec temple. But outside, you got a little bar place, and of course, Mariachi Cobre. But inside the Aztec pyramid, you got a whole bunch of shops, beautiful restaurants, and of course, the Grand Fiesta Tour featuring the three Caballeros. Alright, number 2, the Italy Pavilion. This is yet another beautiful pavilion. And, excuse me, sorry about that. Again, another beautiful pavilion. And you got these, so, the, some beautiful restaurants, including my personal favorite, Via Napoli, and Sergio the Italian Mime. And my number 1 World Showcase Pavilion, the American Adventure. And I'm not just saying that because I'm American. I'm saying that because it's beautiful. I mean, the American Gardens Theater is there where you see people doing the Garden Rock concert series, and inside the American Pavilion and building, you can see the American Adventure show, which we have not seen yet. But of course, also my buddies, the Voices of Liberty, which I'm looking forward to seeing a couple times next week. They are amazing, and if any of the Voices of Liberty are watching, stay tuned. I'll be seeing you guys real soon. So anyway, let me know in the chat or in the comments what your favorite World Showcase Pavilion is at Epcot. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. So on both coasts, you will find two of the most spectacular parades Disney has ever created. At the Magic Kingdom, it's the Festival of Fantasy Parade, which is currently celebrating its 10th anniversary, which is kind of wild to believe that we've had this parade for 10 years now. And it's a celebration of Mickey and his Fantasyland friends. In, but it kind of went south when they got rid of the Brave float. And at Disneyland, it's the Magic Happens Parade, which, in my opinion, is the better parade. Because of the music, the floats, the final section's music, if you just believe. And it has far more cast members than Festival of Fantasy. So anyway, let me know in the chat or in the comments which parade you prefer. Diz, Festival of Fantasy, or Dat, Magic Happens. And now it is time for my humble opinion. So the Disneyland Resort hotels are just as thematic and beautiful as the ones in Florida. Hi, Elmo. However, the Florida hotels have one thing the California hotels do not. A quick service food court area. I mean, when you think about it, every Florida hotel has a food court where you can get some grub and find a place to sit down, and you don't see that at the California hotels. I'm going to be going to Walt Disney World next week, Elmo. I did Disneyland last year. Uh, anyway, but I think in the future, if the city of Anaheim will allow new hotels, they should have a food court. That's my humble opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And now, let's get serious. So, I try to say this every year. It is Autism Awareness Month, and as you all probably know, I have autism. And some people try, when people look at autism, nah, they can't do much. Now, that couldn't be further from the truth. Because every single person with autism has a gift. A gift that inspires others to do what they've always dreamed of. And yes, some people try to put us down, but we gotta pick ourselves back up. And because we're all stars, every single person with autism is a star. And I, I am proud to be autistic. And if any of my brothers and sisters on the spectrum are watching, you should be proud too. Because it is a pure gift. And don't ever, ever, ever let anyone put you in a box. You were all put on this earth for that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live or in the comments if you're watching this later, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode for this week. Shout outs. Make sure you guys check out Samantha Lowe. She does live streams of the Garden Rocks performers for Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival. Definitely check her out. Also, for the latest information going on at Disneyland, make sure you guys check out Fresh Baked Disney. Also, make sure you guys check out Maria over at LBB TV. She does amazing vlogs and live streams from the parks all the time. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out Josh and Jenna over at Resort TV 1. They do amazing live streams from the parks every single week. Check them out as well. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, Quaharina.